I'm not sick, I promise you. I am not sick. This is just me on a regular basis. Me on a regular basis. People, welcome back to yet another video with me, your host, Eric Salad. Eric Salad with two L's, like the Swedish spelling. Peak stuff. Okay, today I thought we could react a little bit to Steve Vai. We haven't reacted to Steve Vai. You know, I love Steve Vai. I'm just gonna put it out there. I love Steve Vai. So don't tell me otherwise. I like him. I like his playing everything. This is just gonna be a fun video for you all. It's about crafting your guitar tone. It's about crafting your guitar tone with Steve Vai. Okay, let's go. Guitar Center.
Enough talk.
Okay, I'm gonna bash him straight away. I'm not fond of this guitar sound. I like his guitar sound in his studio albums. I've seen him live as well. I liked his live sound as well. But you have to stick with my opinion on this one. This sound is not optimal, if you ask me. Let's hear it again.
What your fingers are searching for is...
If you ask me. But then again, everyone has their own opinion. You are free to have your own opinion. I just think this wasn't shining him in the best light because he's talking about guitar tones. And the first thing you hear is a little bit dodgy guitar tone. Sorry to put that out there. I'm just doing it. I'm just saying it. I'm the I'm the sender and you are the receiver.
the way you're hearing yourself. It starts in the head and then it has to come out in the fingers.
True. But, you know, you can hear that it's him. So that's good because people say the tone is in your fingers, and it is to a certain degree. Because you can hear that it's them, but it sounds more or less good. In a good and a bad way, if you get my drift.
In the beginning of my playing, I gave precious little time to my tone. I just wanted to play fast. I was 14. Probably when I was about 16, 17.
Didn't he have Joe Satriani as a teacher? I think so. That Joe Satriani taught Steve Vai. And that's weird because it almost feels like Steve Vai is older, but he's younger. Correct me if I'm wrong.
17 and 18, I started to develop this picking technique that was kind of up here like this. Yeah. And I could play fast, but it didn't sound very good. The tone of the note has so many moving parts to it.
True.
One of them is...
You know, it's I don't think guitar and like bass, but almost more guitar, because now we're gonna talk about guitar. Guitar has so many different approaches to it, how you play. It's such a different variety of stuff. It's not like a synthesizer or anything. It's almost like the voice, but almost even more expressive, if you ask me.
My man. Really? Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
Just where you hit the string.
Yeah. Of course.
There's so many...
And if you play with the fingers, if you play with a thick pick or a little bit smaller pick, everything has a sound different. And if you play close to the bridge or close to the neck, like he did, you know, and what pickups you use, how you play it with these fingers, the left hand, vibrato or not, wide vibrato, slow vibrato, fast vibrato, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on.
Parameters in creating the tone that comes off your fingers. It's different how you turn your pick. It's different the angle you go this way. It's different if you do it like this or you do it like this. I changed my picking style completely. I'll be 19.
Yeah, I changed my style. Like when I started out, I played more. I think I had the pick. Can you see this? I had the pick up here. Look, can you see this? And then I was like, this doesn't work. So I changed it. So I put it down here now instead, like you should. Because I guess I watched YouTube or something. And I changed as well how I pick Let's see, can you see this? I changed how I pick, I'm not gonna use this pick, I'm gonna use this pick. How I pick a fast pentatonic. If I were doing this before, I did like this. Look at my right hand. And that's okay, because it works. It's an economy picking style upwards towards the thick strings. But it didn't work if I were supposed to do other licks in between, like... or... I can't move down again. So I changed it to do this instead. This is not a change of pick, but a change of pattern in when I did patterns, so to speak. So I do this now. So now I can change directions when I want to. That was a bad example because it wasn't that clean, but I hope you know what I mean. It's good to reflect on what you do sometimes, and that goes for everything in life, I think.
Kevin, your dog just died.
If you reflect on how you do stuff and why you do them and la la la, and especially in music, because then you can save yourself a lot of agony and pain. If you just, how much am I raising the fingers here? Is this good for my technique? Is this bad for my technique? And so on. You reflect a little bit.
Stop it. Get some help.
Wise words from me for for one's sake. What do you say? För en gångs skull. Swedish. För en gångs skull. Swedish word of the day.
For once. For once.
83. Because I just was getting tired of not having a great tone. I went through all these amplifiers.
I didn't hear that.
Style completely. Probably 1983.
83.
Because I just was getting tired of not having a great tone. I went through all these amplifiers. I was searching for something that sounded like some of the things I was hearing at the time.
Yeah.
Edward Van Halen had hit the scene. You had Yngwie.
Yngwie!
Get that fucking thing out of my fucking way, huh?
So many players.
Good players. Good players with great sound. I get him. He had a lot of competition back then.
Bro, why don't I sound good?
And then they cut into that, you know, his playing is great, everything. The tone, tone is not bad per se, but when you're demonstrating, he should have had the tone he has, like in, I can see in the background what's he's using an iPad and stuff, but like he had, was it when he broke his arm or whatever? Have you seen those videos when he just played with left arm? That sound, it's great. He should have had that sound instead. Just a honest opinion.
I started to hear a better tone, and I started to experiment with the way that where I pick, how I pick, the angle, all of these things. You get to a point where you...
What the fuck? Why is the video hanging itself?
Where I pick, how I pick,
Let's
the
go.
angle, all of these things. You get to a point where you hear it and you know it. And then the work starts. You got to keep your ear. Your ear has to be like the police of your technique.
I have to... You know, one good thing I learned when I got, when I started my musical, when I started like really go into the sound and the music I did. Let's see, I can show you. Look at this. It's one thing when you play stuff, and it's another thing when you listen to stuff. So it can feel good in the hands when you play, but the sound isn't that great. I'm gonna demonstrate. Look at this. Now I'm just gonna. Know? And that felt great, and it sounded okay in my ears. But now, if I don't focus on playing anything, and I reamp, so to speak, this, because I have Helix native here. And if you want this preset, I have it on Buy Me a Coffee. Basically, it's not the exact preset, but basically it's the Steve Lukather preset. Then listen to this. If I listen to this now. So I can hear some fizzing up on the top, so I can maybe go in here, you know, take away some of the high-end hi-hat. it sounds a little bit better. You know, you can just hear it and then try with headphones and stuff like that. That changed the game for me basically, because then I can play and it feels good and everything, and I can take away gain, I can put on gain and so on, like this. Now it's less gain. Less gain. You know, so it's different sounds, and that I think made a difference for me, and hopefully a difference for you if you take this into consideration. You can do this with an amplifier. You can do this with pretty much whatever you have, just as long as you know what you're doing, so to speak. It's millions of tutorials on YouTube. So yeah, a little tip from me.
Your fingers. But there's very many other aspects that go into what creates the tone that is specific to you. It's the way you pick. It's the way you go for notes. I mean, for instance, I could play these 4 notes.
Yeah. This tone is great, by the way. This tone sounds great.
And I could do it like this.
Yeah.
And I can clean it up and do it a little differently, you know?
Yeah, and you can play it with the fingers. You can do, and not as aggressive, you can do 1,000 stuff. That's why the guitar is so, what do you call it? So, not emotional. The guitar is so expressive. The guitar is a very expressive instrument.
Putting the pick like that. Experiment with things like how hard are you holding the pick? If you hold the pick hard.
And experiment with different picks. You can do whatever. Find your style,
you're going to get these snaps in the note. And that's okay if that's the effect you want. I could still play a note hard, but I'm not holding the pick hard. If I did the same thing...
I think Yngve talked about that as well, that he has a thick pick, and then he lets his fingers adjust, so he doesn't need to press as hard with his fingers, because the pick is doing the work, so then he can do nuances with the hand instead, you know, have more control. So I get that. And I think Paul Gilbert did the opposite thing, like, I don't know if he still does it, but before he had a really flimsy pick, you know, let's see, this one, you know, so you can do, so the pick is doing the work, and then you can hold it, and it sounds a bit different. It's more scratchy sound, it's like more that kind of sound. So you have different styles.
How hard you touch the note has a lot to do with it too. The intonation is dictated by how hard you push, how hard you pull this way, what your vibrato is like. If your vibrato is resonating within the note, it's not uncommon to find people not vibrating this note. All of these things go into discovering your unique tone. Yeah. People say the tone is in the amp, the tone is in the guitar, the tone is in the neck, the tone is in the body or the pickups. On one level, yes, there is a tone.
I think it's really well spoken. He really knows what he's talking about. I like it. I really like it.
All of those things. But you're the boss of the tone because you're the one playing it and you're the one hitting the note.
True.
One thing to...
Yeah, it really depends. Do you want to sound aggressive? Do you want to sound more calm and collected? As he said, you are the boss over your own instrument. Let's go practice, boys! We need to practice the guitar so we can shred like Steve Vai.
Experiment with, if you're interested in improving your tone, you just sit quietly and you kind of imagine in your mind the tone you want. You actually see yourself creating it.
But I don't like them cutting to this, you know, I don't know, maybe I need headphones or something, but to me, it's not a very pleasant tone on this. So it's a little bit counterproductive, so to speak, when he talks about one thing and then he shows another thing. Bash me in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is just my opinion as of now. Maybe I will change in the future. Who knows?
A lot of times we never look past our own abilities because we see them as being out of our reach. One of the funnest things about exploring any instrument is performing something that's just a little bit beyond your means. One of the
performance live or performance like when you're trying to learn it because if you're gonna do that live, I don't know if I can agree with you, Steve. Imagine like, oh shit, when it's live and it's you have audience and everything. I don't know.
The great things is it gives you an authentic feeling of satisfaction because it's you that's doing it and you're the one that's manifesting it and enjoying the flow of it. When the music is flowing through you, this is like...
I don't know if it means improvisation or if you learn a hard piece or something, because improvisation is a different topic on its own.
Joy. And it's a great journey.
No, I don't like this tone. I really don't like this tone. Yeah, anyway, let's look at the comments. Sit quietly and imagine in your mind the tone you want. Gold. Yeah, I think that was a good one as well. Perform something that's a little bit on your means. Man, I needed to hear that today. But that perform, maybe he means, you know, perform like just throw yourself out there and try to learn something that is a lot harder than you're used to. And that I completely agree with. So, yeah, you're the boss of the tone. What a genius. I always like Steve Vai's tone and playing. Yeah, not too much funny comments, but that's okay. So, wrap up of this video. I think he's great. Steve Vai is great. If I'm mean, it's just because I am. Maybe I'm a mean person. I just speak my mind. And that's, I guess that's fine. But yeah, he's a legend. What can you say? Yeah, that's it for today. If you want to see something else, drop a comment, send an email, whatever you want, and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.